You're about to see breaking news that could finally end one of the longest U.S. government shutdowns in decades. After more than 40 days of deadlock, the Senate has just taken its first real step toward reopening the federal government. And this move could send shockwaves through Washington. But don't let the optimism fool you. This deal reveals deeper cracks inside both parties, and the timing could have major consequences for the economy, federal workers, and next year's election.
Well, Andrew, we have a breakthrough. Congress has broken through the logjam, and they now appear to be on this glide path to reopen the government. Now, what happened last night is 8 Senate Democrats, we've been looking for that number for the last 40 days. They joined with Republicans to take that first steps to pass a funding bill, finally again hitting that 60-vote threshold. And look, there are going to be a few more votes in the Senate. We've got to have at least one more vote in the House. But at this point, the shutdown could be done within the next couple days and within the next week. Now, the agreement that they put together, it funds part of the government, including things like SNAP, agriculture, veterans programs for the rest of the 2026 fiscal year. For the rest of the government, it continues funding until January 30th. It also goes ahead and reverses those attempted firings of federal employees during the shutdown, make sure that all the federal employees are going to get their back pay. And Democrats have been promised a vote on extending those healthcare tax credits by the second week of December on a bill of their choosing. And while, again, these 8 Democrats, they've said the deal on the table right now, it's the best they were going to get, others within their party, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, were livid that the shutdown is going to end with no concrete deal on those healthcare tax credits.
I must vote no. This healthcare crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this CR that fails to address the healthcare crisis.
All right. So here's what's really happening beneath the headlines. 8 Senate Democrats broke ranks and joined Republicans to push this funding bill forward. That's the first real sign of movement after weeks of paralysis. The bill keeps key programs running: veterans benefits, food assistance, and agriculture, but only until January 30th. In other words, this is a temporary patch, not a long-term solution. What's striking is the political trade-off. Democrats secured a promise for a December vote on extending healthcare tax credits, but no guarantee. Meanwhile, some party leaders are furious that the shutdown is ending without securing those healthcare subsidies. That anger could resurface later, especially as the 2026 budget fights begin. For the economy, this delay has already cost billions in lost productivity, halted travel, and federal backlogs. But at least this move puts paychecks back in motion.
The Senate will meet today to keep moving this package forward. The House is also expected to return this week, and they're going to need to pass the Senate's agreement before this is over. Guys?
So, in terms of timing, what does this actually look like to you?
So, Andrew, this could go very quickly as long as you have agreement from every single senator that they want this to end soon. And we have already heard Senator Rand Paul has some concerns with the bill. Remember, he's that one Republican who has voted no. He could potentially hold things up. Really, any one senator could. But a lot of the senators also recognize that there is a lot of pain between the flights, between federal employees not getting paid, between all the back and forth we've seen with food assistance. House, meanwhile, they've been told that they've got a 36-hour time window in which they could be called back, and they are expected to be called back at some point this week. So I would say anything can happen, but right now, safe bet that this is done by Friday.
That's true. Emily, the Republicans saw 10 to 12 Democrats are going to go for it. But as usual, most of them wanted cover, and so they got exactly the number they needed. Some of them are retiring or not running for re-election. But any of the other ones that, I don't know, want to pretend that they're, is holding firm. So if Rand Paul went, they'd easily get one of those other ones that think they want to do it, obviously, that they're going to reopen the government. Finally, they're folding.
Why doesn't the House come back now? Because the additional days that it's going to take to open this up at this point, hello, come back, put this together. And
I mean, Becky, if I was a member of the House, I'd be getting on a plane right now.
They thought they were getting 10. They thought they were getting 10 to 12.
Good luck getting on a plane. They're all canceled. That's why I'm here.
This is the Cryptagon. Stay sharp, stay informed.